everybody right now who is soberly assessing and objectively assessing the situation understands that Russia has violated all the international laws.
It is an aggressive attack by Russia and Putin, and it has moved into a phase of guerrilla warfare, not unlike we have seen Russia deal with in Chechnya or, say, in Finland during the Winter War.
Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine began 8 weeks ago. It was a turning point for the people of Finland and Sweden.
If Putin is willing to kill his Slavic brothers and sisters and cousins in Ukraine, there's nothing holding him back from doing that in, say, Finland or Sweden or the Baltic states. So the Finns have drawn a rational conclusion that it is time to join NATO and never be left alone again.
Both the leaders of Sweden and Finland have indicated they now want to join NATO as fast as they can.
What is best for Sweden?
Formal debates have begun with the hope NATO will formalise their membership during the northern summer.
We've seen a rapid public support for NATO membership in Finland. Traditionally, the percentage in favour has been around 20 to 25%. And just last week, we got a new poll saying that 68% of Finns are in favour of NATO, which is, of course, huge when it comes to the shift of public opinion.
Henry Van Hanen is a foreign policy advisor to the opposition Finnish National Coalition Party, which strongly supports joining NATO.
Well, obviously, we understand that Russia will protest and is speaking against Finland's NATO membership. We are prepared for potential countermeasures, ranging from military signaling to cyber attacks, territorial violations, and etc., disinformation campaigns. But at the same time, Finland is prepared for all scenarios.
Finland has a long and sometimes violent history with Russia. Back in the winter of 1939, Finland's forces held off a Stalin-led Russian invasion for 3 months by using hit-and-run attacks, much like Ukraine's success today. For a nation of just 5.5 million people, Finland maintains a massive standing army.
Fortunately, of course, we have one of the largest standing militaries in Europe, with 900,000 in reserve, 280,000 that can be mobilized within a matter of days, a very strong air force, land force, and sea force. So in that sense, we are quite calm about it, but at the same time, we want to maximize our security, and that's why we're going into NATO.
Alexander Stubb is a former Prime Minister of Finland. He told 730 his country has long been vigilant against the threat from Russia.
Finnish security has always been based on the realization of two things. One is geography and the other one is history. So geography you can't change. We still have the 1,340 kilometer border with Russia, but history you can nudge in the right direction. We've always been aware that we live next to an imperialistic, revisionist, aggressive, and at times, most times, totalitarian power. And you have to live accordingly.
NATO's ongoing supply of heavy weaponry like tanks, artillery and missiles is critical to the new phase of the war in Ukraine, says its former Deputy Secretary Rose Gottmuller.
NATO has really changed its definition, I would say, of what defensive weapons are. Back when I was working for President Obama, even the Javelin anti-tank weapons that have been so effective in the current campaign were off the table. Almost any weapon system can be defined as defensive in nature, and clearly the Ukrainians are defending their own land.
We just want to restore our territorial integrity, sovereignty, and independence. From fighter jets to air defense to tanks, artillery, drones, and bullets and munitions. I think all of this backing will give us the opportunity to finish the war faster. But unfortunately, yes, the war takes much longer. Probably it will take other weeks and months.
As the Russian military begins heavy bombardment of Ukrainian positions in the east, Ukraine's Marines and civilians are trapped in tunnels underneath a steelworks in the port city of Mariupol.
I think Russia is turning Mariupol to Aleppo, destroying the whole city. But we are still hoping that our military and our state will find the possibility to help them to break the siege and to help them to get out safely.
For those who've dealt with Putin face to face, there's little optimism the Russian president will end the conflict anytime soon.
This is all about his legacy, his place in history. Believe it or not, he wants to see himself among the Soviet greats like Stalin. And he's not going to get that. I think we're beyond the point of no return. I was involved in mediating peace in Georgia in my capacity as Finnish foreign minister and chairman of the OSCE in 2008. There we got a ceasefire agreement in 5 days. But this war is simply too big for Putin to fail.
Despite today's test launch of a devastating new nuclear weapon by Russia, observers aren't concerned about the weapons being used in Ukraine.
Of all the things that are concerning me about the invasion of Ukraine and what the Russians are up to, this test of a so-called SARMAT, heavy ICBM, heavy intercontinental ballistic missile, worries me the least.
And Putin might be belligerent, he might be aggressive, sometimes rash, but he's not suicidal.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.